So, hello and welcome to the live stream. It's been a little bit since we've actually had a live stream, and I'm not sure if this is actually going well. So, we are, I'm having a big lag. Sorry about that. So I was looking in my little video over here to see if it was actually working, and it wasn't. So it looks like we're up now and running. Now I can go ahead and start. So it's going to be Happy New Year in a couple days, and this is going to be the last live of the year. So I thought I'd go ahead and kind of talk about what happened in the year, and then we'll go ahead and move on into things that are going to be happening into next year, some new things I have planned, and we'll see where we go from there. So first thing I wanted to start out with is, we started March 5th, and since that time, we're at like 249 videos. I believe with this live, will be 249 in like 300 something days. So put out a lot of content. I learned a lot, made a bunch of mistakes, fixed a bunch of mistakes. Matter of fact, I had to fix one today on the faint video, which was kind of funny, but I think the channel's kind of going in the right direction. There's a bunch of great viewers, and I appreciate the people who do watch, and I do appreciate the people who do comment, and people on the Discord, and people who have contributed not only to ideas, but the campaign, which we're going to talk about, because the campaign creation series we had going isn't dead. It just kind of got put off for a little bit for various reasons. We'll talk a little bit more about that kind of when we get to that particular section. But we are kind of over with 2023 and getting ready to go into 2024. There are some new things, some changes that I'm going to make, and I'm really kind of excited for them in truth. And basically it has to do with, I'm always trying to make the channel kind of seem a little bit more professional, a little better, a little bit maybe more willing to keep up the production value, keep up the content, make sure I'm accurate, make sure that, the audio is good, the video is good, because that's what you come to YouTube to actually do, is to kind of see these things. And it does help with kind of, I guess, the mission of the channel, which is to just kind of teach a few things, basic things. There are so many people who know so much more than I do, and so many other channels that actually have great content, people that do great builds. I know Team Player Gaming is here right now, but there are YouTubers that do things. What I try to key in on basically myself is rules and how they would apply in-game, how they interact, and those kind of things. But all that being said, presentation matters, because that's how you kind of get people to more pay attention to what you're doing. So there are basically three big categories that we're going to be covering, and that's going to be kind of a new intro, new outro, new thumbs, and the organization of the thumbs, because I try to do that. And some people were actually surprised that I had them organized in a certain way. We're going to talk about some changes to this stuff back here, and then some of the video series that I want to start doing at the beginning of the year. And then once again, talk about campaign creation. And then we actually have, thankfully to Prometheus God, we have a giveaway, which is really nice. And we'll kind of put that in the Discord for the winner of that. But I'll talk about that when I get to it. First thing I want to talk about is, once again, I was kind of talking about production value. I've been doing things like working on my lighting over the past month or so, since I've had to slow down with videos a little bit. And my lighting's a little bit better. I do have some new things for the back here to kind of make the video show up a little bit better, make it a little bit easier to watch. And then I also commissioned a few things for the channel in order to kind of make it a little bit better. First thing I want to do is, there's a new intro and a new outro. Now, my plan is to kind of do how I've always been doing, which is to go ahead and introduce a topic to the video, why you might be interested in it, and then go into the video. But what I've been doing is I've just been doing a blur dissolve with a fade on title, and then going into the next section, and then doing that per section, per chapter. The chapters are still going to remain, but that adds a certain amount of time I'm not planning on doing mid-roll ads or anything like that. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. So I plan on taking some of those blur dissolves out and kind of making it a little bit where you see it at the beginning and then you see it at the end, kind of like an end tag. I'm very inspired. One of my favorite channels, one of the reasons why I started this, I've talked about this before in other lives, but King Ongatun and then How It's Played were two inspirations. I tried my hand at the King Ongatun thing before. Wasn't very good at it. But one of the things that kind of came up was a new intro outro. So like I said, I had something commissioned. They are not there to actually pad out the time of a video. I'm actually going to be taking some of the interim headers away, but leaving the chapter markers in there. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and show them to you because I got those in. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to this little display here. And this is the new intro outro presentation. Now, once again, before I start this, so I'll do my normal introduction. During that 2.5 second title bump that I have, I'm going to go ahead and play the intro. And then at the end is just going to be where the end cards would be in normal videos. But we're going to go ahead and play those and see how that works out. So this is the first one. I love this so much. I really do. This new intro. There's a little title bump for the channel. And then at the end of the video, this right here is where the little subscribe would be. And then this would be the next recommended video. Once again, I'm not planning on adding or using this to add additional time to the videos. We'll go ahead and go back for a second. So I'm not planning on using that. Once again, it's not to fill out time. It's basically to just try to make it look a little bit more professional and to bring more people in who might want to watch the videos. Super happy with that. I'm trying to think about what else to say about it. I was amazed. I gave them basically my logo design, which once again I had designed earlier in the year, and as basically an Illustrator file. And they were able to take it and create a nice little intro that's short. And it acts, especially with the intro is actually going to compress time a little bit, make videos a little bit shorter. The ending thing is just so that there's something at the end and put some consistency in the videos. Once again, I'm super happy with it. It came out better than I thought it would. And you'll start seeing those on the videos that occur after January 1st. I've actually had it for about a week now, and I've been playing with it and see how it fits in and see if it actually does get overbearing, what volume level it needs to be at to make sure it matches the video, especially the outro, because it has that little voice sample in there and could be annoying if it was too loud. Anyways, I've been playing with it for about a week. And anybody who is on this channel a lot, especially on the Discord, or who, you know, does the direct messages to me while we're in Discord and that kind of thing, I'm spend entirely too much time on the channel. But I like it, so I just keep going. The other thing, so I am going to bring something up here, and I'll bring it up in the main screen. I need to move this over here. And then once again, I'm still not really good at the live. But we're going to bring that screen up here. And the reason why is I had talked about this in the Discord as well with the in the 2024 updates channel, where I'm going to redo the thumbs. Now, my thumbs actually have an organization. I'm going to keep that largely the same. The organization, if you see a red background, it's a review. And I'm looking at a list over here, if you're wondering why I'm looking over on this side. Red is for a review, orange is for quick tips, yellow is for a general guide. That's the majority of anything basically longer than 8 minutes is a general guide. Green is independent creator review previews, which I'm looking to get some more independent creators to review or preview their things. I love third party. If you've been on this before or seen the videos from my channels, I love working with third party people because they're what makes individual tables special. Especially if you play APs, it's those third party people that bring in subsystems, bring in things that actually make your table special. I love them so much, but that's green. Blue for news announcements, purple for opinion speculation, I did get some comments in the Discord about maybe I should change that to a different title, but I actually don't have too many of those. And then I did have a left-aligned orange for role-playing. That's one that I'm going to be talking about that I actually don't have done yet because that's commissioned to get some work done. But we're going to go ahead and kind of show what the new thumbs are going to look like starting with the new year. I will probably backdate them to anything that has the remaster on them so that there's some consistency there. But I also don't want to confuse people in thinking, oh, it's a new video when it's actually not, and trick them into looking at something they've already looked at if that wasn't their intent. So the red, this is the new one for the reviews. This is going to be basically the new thumb. And then you'd have whatever picture you have for the reviews there. Then we will go ahead and do quick tips, which is, and I put my little picture in here on the actual thing. I did it in the 2024 updates. I had a little silhouette here, but this so it looks a little bit more like what you'd actually see when you're looking at the channel. That is the orange. Then for general guides, this is the new thumb for that. Then we have for independent creators, I don't have that one set up yet. That's one I still have to finish up on. Blue for news announcements. This is the new thumb for that. And then we have purple for opinion speculation. That is these here. Once again, once you're actually looking at these in YouTube, they're not going to be this big. Everybody knows thumbnails are a lot smaller and you actually never see them this big. But this is what they're going to look like. Then the other one, the playthrough, which I've been doing a lot of lately. And I'm going to be converting a lot of the quick tips that can be shown on a virtual tabletop. I'm going to start converting those over to playthroughs because people really seem to like them. But anybody who has been with the channel for a while knows that we have had, why is the chat not showing up? I just noticed that. So because of that, let me go ahead. I don't know why the chat's not showing up. I haven't done this in like 3 weeks. And apparently when I was setting up the New Year's version, I screwed up the chat. So we're not going to dwell on that. The last one is we're going to do the playthrough base. Now, I did have a art commission basically for Sly, who is our Sly of the Northern Reaches, who is a kineticist we made. We made him a kitsune so he could kind of be the spirit animal of the channel. And that drawing is going to be used on the playthroughs. And this is the new playthrough guide. And let me go ahead and bring up one other thing. Let me switch back to this real quick. So I have a really bad habit of doxing myself. And I don't want to do that. So let me go ahead and go back over here. And where to go? So the other one that we have, the other basic thumbnail that we're working on is we're going to be working on a role-playing based one. So I got the same artist who does this particular art, and I commissioned them to do the party. So the roleplay base is going to look a lot like this, except these are obviously Hero Forge models. So, but I use this as a reference for the drawing to get commissioned. So they are going to be done in this style, but this is generally going to be our roleplay videos. That's going to be the thumbnail for that. Once again, super happy with those. I'm thinking that they're going to be pretty good. I do, once again, like keeping everything nice. I like keeping everything organized so that before someone goes into a video, they know what they're getting. Now, I do know, like I said, that a lot of people didn't even know that I was doing color coding, and that's fine. But if you didn't, now you know. Everything's color coded. That way you know what you're getting into before you get into it. Basically is how that works. So other things that I want to talk about. We'll go ahead and go back to the main video. And I can't do them because they're not here yet. It was supposed to get here yesterday, and it didn't, and it's not getting here until tomorrow. UPS says before 9 o'clock. But This logo that you see, which you actually don't see at the moment. Well, the logo that you see in the lower right-hand corner, I got that made into basically a 20-inch wood laser cut carving. That's kind of 3D, stands away from the wall a little bit. And that is probably going to be going up somewhere over here. And super happy about that. I'm waiting for it. Like I said, it was supposed to be here yesterday and I was hoping to show it. I wasn't going to put it up yet because I wasn't, basically Saturday and Sunday is when I'm going to redo the, using air quotes, the set. But that's going to be sitting over here. I have some stuff. All this is going to change out a little bit. I am contemplating, once again, I spend too much time on this channel and I fully admit that. I am contemplating basically painting this wall a little bit darker. This is my house. It is my house. I paid for it, but I actually still have to live here. So I'm not sure whether I really want to paint a dark gray wall, but I might wind up doing that because it would help with the lighting a little bit. Contrast is always better, is what they're saying. That's one of the reasons why I went to an actual lighting course in order to figure out how to do the lighting a little bit better. And a darker background, or at least a little bit darker, would probably be a little bit better. But I'm limited in the depth, which is why you'll see some people don't have to worry about those kind of concerns because their lights don't reach that far back. I'm limited a little bit in depth here. Let's see, what else do I have here? The new logo piece. I'm going to switch things around. And I have some more little tchotchkes that I'll probably put in and take some things out and basically make everything look a little bit different. Mainly just, and it's really just to make the visual presentation look better. So it's easier to, once again, I'm doing this, and I hate to, it's not altruistic, but I'm doing this basically to teach people how to play Pathfinder. I want more people to play with, if you really must know. So one of the easiest way for me to get more people to play with is to get more people to play Pathfinder. And that's kind of what I'm going with here. So the visuals are going to try to be a little bit better. The audio is pretty good right now, I believe. And that's where we are in the set. Talking a little bit about some of the things that are going to be coming up as far as some of the video series. So I'll start with the big, I don't want to say elephant in the room, but I'll start with the big one that we got maybe a third to a quarter of the way through. Then the remaster dropped. I had a little dental emergency thingy that I had to take care of, and that kind of stalled for a bit. And that is the campaign creation. So if anyone doesn't know, basically we had a campaign creation series going, and we had a bunch of collaborations. By collaborations, I mean within the channel itself. We had talks and the Discord channels on the villains, the theme, the setting. And it basically was, we're basically going into Galt, and we have a villain, and I don't necessarily, well, Eleanor Trent is our main villain, and she lives in Debril. Then there's Wood's Edge on the western side of Galt, and we basically had a whole campaign kind of getting going. Then the remaster dropped, and that took up a lot of video space. And then once again, I had my own little thing happen, and that took about, right now, that was 3 weeks basically that I really had to slow down because talking wasn't very fun. And in that interim, it's kind of sat. Now, what I actually need to do, and what I haven't done yet, is basically I need to go back to where we were, and I need to recalibrate where everything was. We had World Anvil set up. We had GitHub set up. We were starting on NPCs. That's still happening. But that is just going to take place at the beginning of the new year, and we're going to kind of start doing that campaign creation. And I'll kind of do a little thing here, and that was for the complete campaign. What we were going to do is we're basically doing a 1st through 3rd to 5th. It just depends on where the story leads. But it was a 1st to 3rd or anywhere between 1st to 3rd and 1st to 5th adventure. And it would take place there. Start with the story. We start with the backgrounds. We basically create a whole player's handbook. We create a whole campaign guide. And then we would take that and we would publish it to a PDF. which is the normal thing that you would do. But then we were also going to continue in the campaign creation and do creating it a Foundry module for that particular campaign. And then at the end of all of that, we were just going to give it away. That's what the whole idea was. And the whole idea is to teach people how to create campaigns and not only do it on a PDF, but bring it into Foundry, bring all the NPCs into Foundry, bring all the maps into Foundry, just like you would with some of the top tier and some of the independent creator ones that I did, New Works on the Block and things like that. Fantastic Foundry integration. So that is kind of what we're doing with the campaign creation. It is not dead. It was just kind of on hold basically since a remaster dropped, and we are going to be picking it back up probably within the first half of January. Some of the other things that I'm going to be doing, I am going to start the year off with basically a So You Want to Play Pathfinder set of videos, probably just 2 to 3. But once again, it is something that I personally want to get more people playing Pathfinder. That's just how selfishly I want more people to play Pathfinder, because I want more people to play with. And the more people that play Pathfinder, then the more third-party things come out. The more third-party things come out, the more attention comes to it. Then you have more accessories, you have more fun stuff like that. So we're going to do a little series on So You Want to Play Pathfinder, and it's going to be a basics, like what you need. Archives of Nethys, and I know that they're working really hard on the remaster. They do have a Discord, so if you're ever curious about where they are in the Archives of Nethys conversion to the remaster, they're very open about it. They wanted to get it done a lot sooner, but they're just because of time, because of reality, because it's the holiday season and it's hard to get everything done, they're running a little bit behind on it, and that's totally cool. But Archives of Nethys is going to be done to the remaster, and things you might need, introduction to the various virtual tabletops. It's basically going to be one large video that kind of explains what Pathfinder is, and then maybe 1 or 2 other supplementary ones. It just depends on how it all breaks down. I'm working on doing an outline for that as well. Then we also have a few other new reviews. Actually, there's 2 videos that deal with the same thing. Let me grab this. This I just got a couple days ago, and I'm bringing this up specifically because one of the things that people talked about that they wanted to see a video on was NPC creation, and I actually brought it up. Let me bring that up one more time for myself. So I'm going to switch to this little screen over here, and I'll bring it up. If anybody was ever wondering how I do the videos, is I take what I'm trying to do, which is from page 119 to 130 something in GM Core, is building creatures and building NPCs. I basically have 7 pages of bullets. This is how I do my videos, is I have this bulleted list. I look at them while I'm actually doing the video, and I translate these into sentences and stuff like that. I'm at 7 pages in, and I'm only about halfway done. So the creating NPCs and creating creatures video, it's going to be a long one when that comes around. It just is. I wish I could say it was going to be shorter, but that is a big, big video. That might be on par with the Kineticist videos as far as length. Those ones I had to split that up into 4 or 5 videos to do the Kineticist, which is why I don't do classes, because I have a hard time compressing all that stuff. But the creating creatures, creating NPCs, that video is coming out. Deck of Endless NPCs, we're going to be doing a review of this, which so far I really do like it. It's an interesting thing. I've been looking at a couple reviews itself. I haven't gotten into the cards themselves, but just as a preview here, we have Deck of Endless cards. Open it up, and it comes in. I haven't even opened the plastic on these yet. But you basically get 2 separate decks in here. See if I can't get it without the glare. And concepts on the back side, and you can basically use these to create, according to the videos that I've seen and according to the box itself and the listing on Paizo, 100 million NPCs can be created by using these cards. So that's going to be coming up in addition to the regular GM Core creating creatures and creating NPCs. And let's see, what else do I have to go over particularly? And once again, I am sorry about the chat not showing up. That I don't know what I did wrong. I can't dwell on that. So, but I do have the chat up over to, if I'm looking at the screen, the chat's like right over here for me, so I can still see it. But if anybody has any questions, ideas, anything you want to talk about. Oh, one thing I will say is that I know myself and Team Player Gaming, who once again is on the chat at the moment, we're going to be doing a little collaboration here coming up really at the beginning of January. We're just nailing down some details on that. So I think that's going to be fantastic. What else do I have? Oh, this is the other big thing. So I would really like to thank Prometheus God. Prometheus God is one of the members of our Discord, and he got the Humble Bundle with all the information, with all the books and the bunch of other kind of stuff. However, they do not use Foundry VTT, which it's one of those things that the Abomination Vaults code for Foundry VTT, if you got the bundle, doesn't really work out too well because you don't use Foundry VTT. So he wanted to give it away, and he brought it up to me, and I said, sure, we'll do a giveaway for it. So what I'm going to do is basically directly after this live is over, I'm going to go ahead and create a channel on the Discord, and it's basically just going to be, let me think of a name right now. I will call it Abomination Vaults Giveaway. That's easy enough. I'm going to put Abomination Vaults Giveaway, put a little descriptor, which is basically this, in that, once again, thankfully to Prometheus God, he gave me the code for the Abomination Vaults Foundry VTT module. So I'm going to put that channel on the Discord. If you'd like to be entered into that particular drawing, like if you already have it, because I already have it, so I don't need it. I wouldn't have taken it anyways. I still would have given it away. But if you happen to already have it, cool, then you don't need to get in. But on the Discord in there, you just literally say, I want it in the drawing. And then on New Year's Eve itself, I'm not going to do it at midnight, but it'll be New Year's Eve. Give it time. It's Central Time here. So, and I know we have people in the UK and we have people all over the place, in truth, but that actually are part of the Discord and took place in campaign creation, all this other kind of stuff. However, we'll probably do it like 9, 10 o'clock my time, which is Central Time, but it'll happen basically New Year's Eve. So we'll do that giveaway on the Discord, and someone's going to get a code for Abomination Vaults Foundry VTT, which is a great module. I realize that it's kind of one of those ones. It is, in all truth, a dungeon crawl, but it is a very fun dungeon crawl. As a matter of fact, to anybody who has been talking on Discord, and I've said this a gazillion times, probably on lives itself, Abomination Vaults and Gatewalkers, the two I'm playing right now. I'm also playing Orc Strung Together. That's the one I'm GMing. I love Abomination Vaults. Yes, it's a dungeon crawl, but I think it's a really good dungeon crawl. I will say this, once again, because I have the code for Foundry VTT, plus I have the PDFs. I don't read them. I haven't read them, and I'm trying my best to never read them until we're done at the very least, because I don't want to do spoilers, because it's a fun AP. So that's that giveaway. Like I said, it'll be on the Discord, and I'll put a channel in. All you got to do is say you want it in the drawing, and that's it. And I'll put something in the general. Let me go to the Discord itself so I can see. I'll put something in probably the chit chat and the PF2E thing as well, basically explaining, go to this channel and put your name in for the giveaway. And it isn't going to be based on seniority. It isn't going to be based on anything else. I gave away, what did I give it away for? But I did on a live before. It'll literally be a dice roll. If there are 20 people that want in, we're going to roll a D20. If there are 6 people in, we'll roll a D6. And in truth, it isn't physical dice. We live in a world of computers. So if it's 32 people, we can roll a D32. If it's 7 people, we can roll a D7. But regardless, it'll just be, when I'm doing the drawing, I'm going to list everybody you said, and we're just going to roll a digital die. And then whoever gets it, they're the person who wins it. Like I said, the last giveaway we did, we had one for Pathfinder Infinite and we had one for Paizo. I know Kojo won the one for Paizo, and I have to remember, and I know this. I don't like doing pauses. I'd have to look, but so I don't want to have people stare at me looking at my computer screen. But we also did the Paizo gift certificate too. So it'll be just like that. We'll just do a die roll, and whoever wins wins, and it's all good. So it doesn't matter how long you've been or any of that kind of stuff. If you want in, just go ahead and put your name in. I'm not going to do any disqualifiers or anything like that. So aside from that, I don't have too much else to really go over for this live. Do a brief little summary. And once again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to go ahead and put your question on there. I know this is kind of a lightly attended, even more lighter than normal. Number one, I'm a small channel, and I do know that. But I also haven't done a live in about, I believe my last one was 3 weeks ago. So, and then I screwed up. You know what? I'm gonna tell you a little story about how I screwed up videos today. So I did screw up Feint earlier. I think I mentioned that. And it's actually in my Feint video as well that I appreciated the correction. Redid that whole section, did it. Before this live, to anybody who pays attention, I just recently went over 1,000. You reach over 1,000, you hit monetization. Great. Just so anybody's well aware, no, I am not, nor probably will I ever be rolling in the dough on YouTube. Not hugely what I'm here for. It'd be great if it could handle like a electric bill once in a while or something like that, but that's not what I'm here for. But when I set up the live, it was automatically set up for monetization, and it was going to start inserting ads every 10 minutes. And I didn't want to do that. So I took it down real quick and brought it back up without the monetization until I figure out. I'm not for or against it. I'm not telling anybody to do it or not do it, but the whole mid-roll thing, especially during a live, I don't particularly want to do. And it was going to force it in the middle of a live, and I just wasn't, it just seemed kind of weird. Anyways, do the summary and try not to go off on tangents like I always do. But that's the whole thing is we have the new intro, new outro. Those are going to be coming. I am so proud of those. I am going to show them again because I am a sucker for cool stuff that I like. Once again, this is a new intro. And then we have the new outro. The intro is transparent, so I can put on any background I want. The outro is not transparent, but I do like the gradient background, radial gradient background. New intro, new outro. New thumbs are coming. I don't want anybody to think that they are... I basically just want to say this, so if you see Feint with a new thumbnail, it isn't a new video. I'm just changing the thumbnails to kind of match back up with anything that has to do with the remaster. In my last thumbnail redesign, I redid all the videos, and in truth, I felt a little bit dishonest because I don't know, no one ever said anything. I never got a comment, and no one ever said anything in Discord, but I didn't want anybody thinking that I was tricking them into seeing an old video again. So I'm just going to do the ones that are remastered and forward. And eventually, probably the thumbnails will no longer say remastered on them once it gets to a certain point in time. Or maybe it'll stay. It just kind of depends on how that goes. I don't really have anything said about that. But anything that's remastered is going to get the new thumbnails. New set. Man, I'm so bad about pointing over my shoulder too. This is going to be the side where the new logo is. Oh, I can't wait to see that. And I was really hoping it was going to be here. New campaign series that are coming out is So You Want to Play Pathfinder. We have the NPC character creation as well as the campaign creation video. And then we have the giveaway. That is the summary of the channel. Team play. Yeah, I think thumbnails they're important. Anybody who has done YouTube before, thumbnails are one of the most important things. The reason why I'm switching is because I use Canva. A lot of people use Canva in order for their thumbnails. It's just one of the easiest things to use. And there are a bunch of templates on there. Different colors, but I use the same template as a gazillion other people. And I want to make them look a little bit different. These ones, they're still put together in Canva, but these were created. I used a bunch of different stuff, anything for like theme and the general feel of it. Used things like Dungeon Alchemist and Flowscape. I used GIMP, which is a image editor, kind of like a Photoshop. I used Krita, which is for vector graphics. Canva was what I put it together with, and I used one other thing, and I'm trying to remember what it is, and I can't. But anyways, thumbnails are important. I want mine to start looking more different. Is that a real sentence? Is my grammar correct? Probably not. But I want things to look different. So I thought those were good ones. They're not photorealistic, but they're slightly cartoonish, which are going to match with the Sly Strategist drawing, as well as the new drawings I made commission. Oh, that's one other thing, which will be here January 8th is when they're supposed to be delivered, or when I'm supposed to get the digital delivery of them, and that will go up. And I'll be able to start using them as well as tokens for the playthroughs. And we're going to get a kineticist in the playthroughs, and Anseal's probably going to retire, unless we need to do something specific to a wizard. So that is all the news I got, and I don't think I have that much more for the live. This might be a short one. This might be one of my shortest ones, but I just don't have that much new stuff to say. But with all that being said, once again, something else to look forward to, and he's on the chat right now too, but Drew Team Player Gaming, we're going to be doing a little something. We'll be talking about that coming up on Saturday. Not me and you guys. Me and Drew are going to be talking about what we'll be doing for the beginning of next year on Saturday and kind of getting something together there. And so look forward to that. And that is all I got. So if that is all that I can think of, I can vamp for about 20 seconds here, 20, 30 seconds. But if there's nothing else and no other questions or anything like that, I'm probably going to call it a short live for tonight, and that's fine. I do need to make sure that I get my chat set up again. I'm kind of looking at I use OBS. I'm looking at seeing what I missed on my chat. But absolutely, thank you for showing up, really, and for commenting and for watching and stuff like that. The chat will be fixed before the next one, I promise. And we'll probably get one more video out before the end of the year, just on the main channel. But that's probably going to be it before I need to take down all this stuff and stop recording and stuff like that and put the new stuff up. But look forward to the new videos beginning in 2024. I appreciate everybody who not only is on this live, but is going to watch this later, or doesn't watch this at all and watches videos or shows up on the Discord or whatever. I appreciate it. I appreciate you for doing it. And thanks for coming. And you can please feel free to share the Pathfinder love out there. And that way we all can have more people to play with. That's kind of what I'm in the business for. But I appreciate you. And I hope everybody has a great new year. So we will talk with everybody later. Thanks.